Hello, good evening everybody. Sir Jude here and apologies kung late ko na may upload tong video, and today I'm going to rediscuss the second half of plate boundaries. So remember that last week we discussed convergent boundary, no? So what you see on the screen right now, you see that these two crusts, they are separating from each other. So in Tagalog, naghihiwalay. And once you see crusts or blocks or plates separating from each other, then that's not convergent boundary anymore. Therefore, this is an example of a divergent boundary. And if convergent boundary is driven by compression, then divergent boundary is driven by tension. All right. So naturally, we start with two continental crusts separating from one another. That's why babalikan natin si FET simulation for a while. All right. So in continental-continental divergence, you have two continental crusts moving away from each other, like that. And in continental-continental convergence, remember, the geological formations are mountains, mountain ranges, and hills. While here in continental-continental divergence, because the continental crust separated from each other, then therefore those three are not present anymore. Instead, the geological formation is called a rift valley. Okay? O sa Tagalog, ito yung tinatawag na lambak. All right. So here are some examples of rift valleys. So there's one in Iceland, there's another one in Taiwan, and here in the Philippines you have Cagayan Valley and Compostela Valley. So notice that the rift valley is always at the middle, or it's always at the center or in between two major landforms, so usually mountains. Okay? So ayan, yan ang example ng rift valley. And that is the only geological formation brought by continental-continental convergence. Now, the next one, so at the left side, you see an oceanic crust, and on the right side, you see another oceanic crust. So, because they're separating from each other, then therefore the second type of divergent boundary is oceanic divergence. So, using FET simulation, let me just reset all the mechanisms you set a while ago. So I want to use two old oceanic crusts, one on the left, one on the right, and then adjusting the mechanisms. And by clicking divergent here, no? So you see two old oceanic crusts moving away from each other, and at the center, a young oceanic crust is formed. Two young oceanic crusts are formed. One going to the left and another one going to the right. So remember, in oceanic convergence, you have three possible geological landforms. You have volcanoes, islands, and trenches. So they are not present here anymore. Instead, this geological formation is called none other than the mid-ocean ridges. So when I was researching real-life examples of mid-ocean ridges, I only found a few, and most of them pertain to the Mid-Atlantic Ocean ridge. So the only difference between the Rift Valley and the Mid-Atlantic, the Rift Valley and the Mid-Ocean ridge is Mid-Ocean ridge is basically underwater Rift Valley. Okay, so as you can see here, no, there's a major landform on the left and another major landform on the right, and there's a seafloor at the center. So that's an example of uh, a mid-ocean ridge, which is a consequence of the oceanic divergence. And believe it or not, that's it for divergent boundaries. You only have two subtypes of plate boundaries. So let's just answer this one now. No? So number one, what crusts are in it? So because the crust supports oceans and therefore the crust in number one are ocean. Number two, what driving stress motivates the crust in number one to move? The driving stress here, so you see one crust going to the left, another one going to the right, opposite directions, but they are moving away from each other. So this driving stress is called tension. So you have two oceanic crusts moving away from each other. So the plate boundary specifically demonstrated above is none other than oceanic oceanic divergence. And on number four, the only geological formation formed by oceanic divergence is none other than the mid-ocean ridge. And that's it for our first recap. Second, so what crusts are in number one? The crusts in number one support continents or bodies of land. So therefore, they are continental crusts. Number two, what driving stress motivates the crust in number one to move? So you see two arrows oriented in different directions, signaling that they're moving away from each other. So this is tension. Number three, what plate boundary is demonstrated above? You have two continental crusts separating from each other. This is continental divergence. And lastly, number four, the landform or waterform presented, or the only geological formation here, is the Rift Valley. And basically, that's it. So you might be wondering why there's only two types of divergent boundaries compared to convergent boundaries wherein you have three. That's because we skip continental oceanic divergence. So does that mean that there is no continental oceanic divergence? Yes, there is no such thing as continental oceanic divergence. So that implies that continental and the oceanic crust, they always go together, no? Ayan. So once the oceanic crust subducts under the continental crust or a younger oceanic crust, no, you cannot pull back the subducting oceanic crust as because number one, the oceanic crust is too heavy. So remember, this is a natural process. Even men cannot do this by themselves, no? Because the oceanic crust is too heavy, no? And the force influencing the oceanic crust to go downward is the gravity. And once the subducting crust plummets down the mantle, there's no going back anymore because remember, mantle is hotter than the crust and heat from the mantle melts into magma. So these are the three reasons why there is no such thing as continental oceanic divergence. And with that, we're closing off our chapter on divergent boundary. Let's move on to the third and final plate boundary, which is this one. So this is unique compared to the first two because in the first two boundaries, the first sample picture I presented to you, you see them at the side view. So here, you see Pikyang Fault at top view. No? So what's unique about this one? Because in this one, the crust do not collide with each other because they're already conjoined, no? However, they're not separated to the point that there is a space between them. Instead, these crusts slide past each other. And when you see crusts sliding past each other, this is a demonstration or manifestation of the transform boundary. And remember, no, once you open a bag of a bag of chips that you love, no, you always tear it apart. There's a sign that says tear here or tear here, no. Now, that's because the driving stress for transform boundary shearing or tearing or tearing. Now, let's see if we have geological formations brought by transform boundary. All right, let me just reset all the mechanisms here. So let's start with two continental crusts sliding past each other. Okay, so here is a demonstration. As you can see, nothing is formed. No mountains, no volcanoes, no mountain ranges, no hills, no islands, and not even trenches are found in this case. So for continental transform, there are no geological formations. It only happens basically earthquake. Now let's try two oceanic crusts, and I prefer two old oceanic crusts. Let's see if we have geological formations here or not. Right. And there you go. They're just sliding past each other. And just like continental transform, there are no geological formations here with oceanic transform as well. So that means we're technically done with the lecture because transform boundaries never give us anything at all. Okay? So why might be wondering now, why are there no geological formations from transform boundaries? So you might you might see a pattern. For convergent boundaries, mountains, mountain ranges, hills, volcanoes, islands, and trenches are formed because there are two crusts colliding with each other. And in divergent boundaries, wherein we produce rift valleys and mid-ocean ranges, um, you have two crusts separating from each other. So there is a connection or a contact between them because compared here in transform boundary, no new crusts are neither created nor destroyed because they just slide past each other. Nothing, no geological. There are no geological formations, and the only thing that happens is you have earthquakes, obviously. Okay, so and with that, let's now review all the uh, types of plate boundaries because we're done. Okay, so here, let's recap the plate boundary. No need to be specific whether it's continental or oceanic because what you see on the screen right now, these are some of what do you call this? Parallel or let's say um, parallel demonstrations of the plate boundaries that does not necessarily involve or entail tectonic plates. So at the first picture on the top left, you have an escalator system. One side moves down and the other side moves up. So they're not colliding, they're not separating, they are sliding past each other, although they are separated by like a long rail. So, but that right there, that is a close manifestation of transform boundary in which the driving stress is shearing or tearing. In the second picture, the one at the top, right? So you have two men playing tug of war. And in tug of war, both men must have to pull the rope towards their side para so they can win, no? And the other side may lose. And in tug of war, this is a manifestation, close manifestation of divergent boundary or tension. Now, in the third example, this is easy. You have two cars crashing towards each other. This is a direct manifestation of convergent boundary in which the driving stress is compression. Let's move on to the next set of pictures. So at the first one, you have an automatic sliding door opening to welcome customers or passers-by. So that's an example of divergent boundary wherein the driving stress is tension. You might be tempted to answer transform because of the sliding door. Yes, they do slide, but the doors separate from each other. That's why it's more akin to divergent than that of transform. At the center, we have probably a man flexing his bicep muscles. So you see it bulging because of compression. That's why it's a manifestation of convergent boundary. And lastly, for the escalator, you have one side going up and the other side going down. This is almost a rip-off of the transform boundary in which the driving stress is shearing or tearing. Okay, now classify. In this slide, you're going to classify whether the plate boundaries are constructive, destructive, and conservative. But before that, alamin muna natin kung anong klaseng plate boundaries sila. Again, no need to specify whether it's continental or oceanic, just stick to the general one. At the first one, top left, we have two crust separating from each other. That's divergent. At the top right, we have two crusts moving towards each other and then one is subducting. So this is convergent with subduction because one crust goes down. At the bottom left, you have two crusts sliding past each other. That's transform. And at the bottom right, you have two crusts colliding with each other, but instead of subducting, they elevate. So that's why the last plate boundary is also convergent, but without subduction. So what does it mean when we say constructive? When you say constructive, new crusts are formed. When you say destructive, no, the old crusts are destroyed. And the creation of the geological formations is destructive in a way that it destroys its original form. And finally, when we say conservative, no, well, the two are sliding past each other. There's already a destruction there, but the plates are conserved because no crust is added, no new crust is added, no new crust is also destroyed. So this may be confusing, but let me just reiterate clearly. Okay, let's start with divergent. Divergent boundaries, continental, continental, and oceanic, oceanic, they are considered constructive because new crusts are formed. So in continental, continental, you have rift valleys, and in oceanic, oceanic, you have mid-ocean ridges. So both the continental and oceanic crusts are recycled in each scenario respectively. For convergent with subduction, this is destructive because the old crusts are destroyed, specifically the subducting oceanic crust. So yes, you do form volcanoes, islands, and trenches, but their original crusts that were used to form those were destroyed. That's why convergent is considered destructive. At the bottom left, you have transform. I think I already gave this one away. So transform is the only one that is conservative because new crusts are neither created nor destroyed. It's only the old crusts that are functioning here and there are no geological formations. Now, for convergent without subduction, yes, there are mountains formed. So some of you might be tempted to answer this one constructive. But remember, the way mountains, mountain ranges, and hills are formed, you have to destroy the original crust. That's why convergent without subduction is also destructive. So let's just summarize. For divergent boundary, it is considered constructive because new cross are formed. Both types of convergent boundary, whether one cross is subducting or not, they are destructive because the old cross are destroyed. And finally, in transform, it's the only one that's considered conservative because new cross are neither created nor destroyed. All right. So in plate boundaries, when they finally happen or occur, the first major geological hazard or disaster is the earthquake or tsunami. Depends on whether on where the shaking originates, no, and how the magnitude of the shaking of the planet Earth. And the reason why I brought up earthquakes here is because we will pick the plate boundary that yields D, A, shallowest, mababaw lang, and B, deepest earthquakes. So, shallowest, mababaw. When you say mababaw, uh, flat lang, no? Not elevated, but also not, no one is descending. And the plate boundary that will give you the shallowest earthquake is none other than transform. So, it is also the safe, I think, safe, in my opinion, the safest one because yes, earthquake is happening, but also happens to be the weakest, and uh there are no geological formations. But again, it depends on the area where you are situated. Depende pa rin kung nasaan ka. Okay? Kasi like transform nga, considered shallow pero nasa area ka na malapit sa bundok. So, pwede rin mag-cause ng landslide. However, the plate boundary that yields the deepest earthquake is none other than convergent with subduction. So deepest because one crust is subducting. While for divergent and convergent without subduction, they are somewhere in the middle. And there you go. That's plate boundaries for you. So tomorrow we will have your performance task 1.3 by group. All you have to do is just review everything that we tackled last Friday and this afternoon. Convergent, divergent, and transform. See you tomorrow and good luck. Bye bye. Thank you for listening.